Now they lost it on the 40 acres on campus grounds. We gather round, discussing goals and dreams and life's adventures. The Texas Longhorns, they the talk of the town. High-cast tales of the 40 acres, where we dive deep into the game day stories. From touchdowns to heartbreakers, we discuss it all. Texas Longhorns glory. Here we gather round each Thursday night, talking sports, it's so alright. From football to basketball, baseball to softball, Tim Wayne and Harry, we cover it all. Sports talk is our passion, our delight. Thursday night at 8:30, we unite. We discuss the scores, the plays, the teams you like. Let's dive into the game, let's ignite.
12 conference champions.
Yo, what is up? It's your boys, Texas Longhorn Fan Battle Podcast. We're on time this week, for the first time this month, all season really. We've been on time since week 1. I have air conditioner again for the second straight week. Tim's here in the house. Tim Wayne,
sir.
what to do, bro? How you doing?
What's going on, man? We got a lot to talk about. I have some things that I still want to get off my chest that I wasn't able to get off of last week. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to roll. Hopefully we don't get popped for speaking our minds. You know what I mean?
Hey, you know what? I won't pop you for speaking your mind if that makes you feel good.
Hey, man.
I will let you have free reign over whatever you have to say.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
But before we do that, what we do have to do is pay the bills real quick.
Yes, sir.
And you know what, Tim? I'm going to say something real quick. I'm very excited to pay the bills this week.
Okay.
Because I haven't been able to pay the bills like this ever since we've started this podcast network or even any of our podcasts. So I'm going to do it with pride. All right.
Okay.
FanBattlesports.com, where you can get the latest and greatest from the 2-0, undefeated, first place in the AFC South, Indianapolis Colts. The 1-1 Jaguars, who Trevor Lawrence still doesn't know who he is. The Houston Texans, who I just saw gave up another sack to CJ Stroud. And, of course, the Lonely Titans, where 50%. Cam Ward is still 50% of the quarterback. He is because his O-line is trash. FanBattleSports.com.
Wow.
By the way, Titans fans, we'll see you Saturday. I hope Cam Ward is ready because Lou Anarumo got something for that ass. FanBattleSports.com. Follow us, like, subscribe to the show. Follow us on YouTube. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. We are currently at 80. That's good. 80 subscribers. We're almost there. That's awesome. You know, we're inching to 100. Just 100, guys. We don't want to get 1,000. We don't want to get 10,000. We need to get to 100 first. So, like, subscribe, comment on the video below. Converse with us. We've got a lot to talk about because we haven't been on time for the last couple weeks. So, we've kind of been, like, out of focus. But we're going to lock in today. We're going to have a quick show. Tim, I'm celebrating an anniversary next week, 4 years.
Yes, sir.
I'm taking my wife to Vegas this weekend.
Yes, sir.
We're going to go see a little Chris Brown. You know, hopefully he gets his answer to himself.
That dude has been going crazy on the tour.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? We're going to be up in the 130s, so he never see us, right? So we good. I'm good there. I'm really excited about that. We're going to go stay at the Circa.
Okay.
Which is the swimming pool theater.
Yep.
Right? You know, where the TVs are at. So at
Yep.
8 a.m., I'll be watching Texas. Well, actually, I won't be watching Texas because we don't play till 5 p.m. Pacific time, which is great. So we're going to park like basically diagonal from the stadium, right? So we're going to be able to watch the game and then just walk over to the concert. Nice. I've got it made this weekend. And then Sunday, I'm just going to lounge at 9 a.m. in the morning, local time, watch football all day. We'd be good home Monday. So it's going to be a good weekend.
Sounds like fun to me.
But while we do all that, got to talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
Texas, of course, pseudo takes care of business. They take care of business in the sense of they won, right? 27-10. But this is not a 27-10 to be proud about, right?
Man, no.
It was not good. It was so bad, offensively specifically, that DKR was booing, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to see the boos. It's not what you want. But Arch Manning is just bad right now. And
there's no other way to put it.
and I don't think he's hurt. I don't think he's a bad player. And I don't think, this offense is a bad offense, right?
Right.
Which leads me to believe one thing.
What's that?
He's just in a funk. And his energy, because we know how energetic Arch is.
Yep.
His energy or lack thereof, because he's the term that people like to use is press, right? He's pressing so hard.
Right.
It's so bad that it's leaked into the rest of the team. If I looked at this offense, I think last week we talked about a few things. Do the easy things correct, which you didn't do.
Right.
Keep it simple, which you couldn't do. And be disciplined, which I don't think anybody on the offense did. Right?
Right.
So, as a player, there's two things I want to talk to you about, and then I'm going to let you kind of take over here and kind of give me your thoughts. Number one, for those that don't know, right? Not saying that we have a lot of people that aren't sure or aware of anything like that, right? Talk to me about when Sark says he's pressing, right? What does that mean in terms of Arch Manning's play versus his talent versus ability to be a really good player? I'll let you take the mic.
Okay, so to me, when Sark says this, saying that Arch is pressing, there's two things. That means that, from the way I look at it, is two things. It's twofold. You're trying to make the perfect throw. You're making things overcomplicated than what it really is. So when somebody says, "Hey, you're pressing this," or you're pressing the situation, that's how I internalize it. You're overcomplicating something that you've done 1,000 times, and when it's time to do it, you are underperforming, or you get the yips, and you don't necessarily do what everybody else around you knows that you can do. In your head, you know what you can do. And when it comes to being in that spotlight, it's not showing up. Now, you say, "Hey, well, this doesn't make sense to me because last year, Arch did great whenever he came in the game. Arch was not the focal point of the offense last year. You had Quinn Ewers and a slew of other talent that was there to take the pressure off of Arch. So Arch could go out there and have fun. Arch could go out there and be himself and let it loose and let it rip. And in those type of situations, and we all know the backup quarterback is the most popular guy on the team. When you have a situation like that, you don't have to worry about anything. You make a mistake, you're not going to be in the game long. Who cares? You have another quarterback and a slew of wide receivers and running backs and a great defense that can make up for the lost times and make up for a lot of the situations that you may be experiencing, or that you may experience in a case if you turn the ball over. In this case, jumping a year forward, now it's all on you. The offense is all on you. The outcome of the games predominantly fall on your shoulders. So yeah, there's two stark differences when it comes to Arch pressing the matter. And I see it because there are wide open wide receivers that Arch is missing. There are balls that he's throwing in the dirt that he should not be putting in the dirt. There are quarterbacks, and I talked about this a little bit last week on our last show, about how NFL quarterbacks are looking at Arch and like, I know you can make that play, but why is your form off? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are your hips open? Why are you not putting the ball where it needs to be? Why are you sidearming a bunch of throws that you don't need to sidearm? You're 6'4".
I want to say real quick, I hate the sidearm throw. I despise it.
I don't
I
like
cannot stand it.
You don't need it. He does not need it. We've seen him put the ball in the air. We've seen him run the ball, which I want to touch bases on that.
Yeah.
And we'll touch bases as we get closer to talk about Sam Houston. But
Okay.
I think it's just like you said, it's a case of the yips, but it's like at a point, when do you come out of it? Is this a Markel Fultz type situation where you develop a shot? Is this a Lonzo Ball situation where you get to play loose, get to be free, and then when you become the man or the franchise player, you can't really perform? Maybe you have some performance anxiety. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what Arch can do to get out of it.
Yeah.
That's what my concern is you're supposed to use Sam Houston, you're supposed to use San Jose, you're supposed to use UTEP to get out of that and build confidence, and you have not done that. You've got 1 week because next week you're in Florida.
2 weeks. Yeah, you get a bye next week, and then
You get a bye next week, and then 2 weeks you're in Florida. 2 weeks you're in Florida. You get one opportunity from now.
Yep.
To really hone it in, and then you got to go on a bye. So you're going to be cold, right? You're not going to have a game that next Saturday.
This is it, right?
And then October, here it comes. You open at Florida. You open SEC, the SEC schedule at Florida. Now, the great thing is Florida's undisciplined, and their quarterback is not performing to the expectations that we have set for this quarterback in DJ Lagway.
Man, that was tough to watch.
That was very tough to watch, and it's sad.
Hard to watch, and I felt bad, man.
Listen,
but is that DJ Lagway's first true road game? Because I know he played against Georgia, but that was at Florida.
Right. Yeah, right. It was his first true road game,
and it was a night game.
Right. Wait, are you talking about USF?
No. He forget.
You talking about last week?
I'm talking about LSU.
Yeah. But mind you, Nussmeier hadn't looked great.
I think that's the other thing, right? Like you take a look back, and like you take a look at all the top quarterbacks, right? And listen, I'm not taking anything from John Mateer. I think he's been really good. He still hasn't played anybody. He still hasn't played a defense that's worth a lick, in my opinion, right? Who I will give some credit to, though, you got to do it, and I hate to be that guy. We'll talk about it later. I think Marcel Reed balled out, man, and forget for A&M, and forget the tackle on the last play where he scored. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
Listen, sometimes offensive linemen can tackle, and it just depends on what ref is reffing. It's cool. Right. I'm not worried about that, but I think Marcel Reed. That offense looks really good right now.
Yeah.
That offense is what we were hoping Texas's offense would look like at this point. And clearly Notre Dame is done, right? Like they're not going to make Notre Dame does not have the schedule to kind of make up the fact that they're even ranked as a joke. Okay.
Notre Dame.
I don't even want to talk about
got 2 losses already.
They're 0-2, both ranked losses. I get both ranked losses, close ranked losses, fine, whatever. At the end of the day, you're 0-2.
Right.
When you start the season that high,
right,
you fall so far, right, and you lose both of your games.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter to me anymore, right? Because the rest of their season is weak. Right. They're playing maybe a weak ACC. Maybe there's some opportunities there, but I don't think they could stack up against some of the resumes some of these other schools are building.
Right.
Especially the ACC. Like the ACC looks like to be a very interesting conference now, right? I think Clemson. They're hanging on by a thread, right? Like, I don't know if Clemson is strong enough to get on.
I'm off the Clemson bandwagon right now. Yeah. Right now, I'm off.
I think Cade, but I think, like, going back and talking about it, right? Arch Manning is struggling. We've got 4-year starters struggling. Yeah. And I think that's a positive. And to me, it's really are we just like in this really like fantasy world and all these top quote unquote top quarterbacks are struggling all at the same time and it's just coincidence? It very well could be, right?
Right.
But I find it really, 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 really hard. And I'm a big Garrett Nussmeier fan. He has not played well.
No.
And I
They're
find it
struggling
really
to put
hard.
20 points on the board just like Texas is.
Yeah, I mean, you're not like LSU with that offense has only put up 20 points a game.
Mhm.
And and it's not like LSU's bringing in a new offensive line, new
Nope.
wide receivers. This is a veteran. It's a veteran offense.
Right.
Clemson, veteran offense. But besides Brian Wesco Jr., nobody on
Right.
that offense has done anything.
Not at all.
And that defense is kind of being put to the fire because they're on the field so much.
Yeah.
And as great and as talented as that defense is, and you probably know this, Tim, as a defensive player, try go playing 40 minutes on defense and playing 95 plays and tell me you can be effective. Texas's defense is kind of feeling that in such a way because this offense is struggling, right?
Right. Yeah.
You can't stay fresh. So I think all that comes to say, just relax, right? I still think it's okay, but we're getting closer and closer and closer to where it's not going to be okay if we can't figure it out. With
Man.
that being said, the second thing I wanted to ask you about, and I don't think I've ever heard of forget Texas. I don't think I've ever heard a head coach say this about their quarterback. But I sent you a clip earlier, and Sark had a press conference today, and
Yep.
he specifically said this, like, regardless of like the pedigree or like whatever, right?
Mhm.
Basically, in a nutshell, what he said is the way Arch is playing on Saturdays is not the way he's been practicing all week, which basically means he's practiced really well. And then he went on to say this week he's had a great week of practice. So to me, that means he's not. So they always say practice makes perfect, right? To me, I think a practice makes permanent, right? If you're practicing the way you if you're playing the way you're practicing, that means what you practice on the practice field is translating to game day, right?
Mhm.
When you hear that Sark is saying, and he's openly saying this is not I have not heard of this. He
Yeah.
literally said today, he was asked, "Hey, is Arch practicing this way?" And he said, "No, Arch is practicing really well. It's just not translating to the field." You don't hear that about a lot of head coaches. Don't say that about their starting quarterback, but Sark said that
Right.
today. What are your thoughts on that?
I will say this: it might be the most brutally honest thing that Sark has probably ever said.
Yeah.
And it sucks, right? It absolutely sucks. Like nobody wants to hear that from not a fan, not a player, other coaches. Nobody wants to hear that coming from the CEO and coming from the top down, right? Nobody wants to hear that. But it is very honest. What was my reaction when you sent me that clip? Oh fuck. Like what like
You're basically like, oh snap. Like what the
yeah,
heck?
like what is going on? Like
Yeah.
you like but I as much as I want to give I have to give him kudos to being brutally honest because what how as a
Really not this way. Yeah.
for him to be like, hey, listen, my guy is practicing very well, but it's not translating to the field. That is usually something you hear from a boss. It's something you hear from, you're on a pip. That to me, when you hear something like that, two things. You want to respect their boss for being brutally honest with you. And two, that does show to me that there could be a sign of like, hey, like we may have to explore other options if this isn't going the way we expect it to go.
Yeah, I think that's
That
interesting.
to me, that's an underlining, there's an underlining right there. There's a silver line right there. And so I was taken aback. I'm still taken aback by it. I was expecting that. That was the last thing that I expected to hear from Sark, but I'm glad I'm hearing it because he's not criticizing him, but he's also letting him know, like, I can only do so much to protect you, and he can. Like, what is Sark supposed to do about Arch Manning throwing balls into the dirt? What can he do? What can he say to the media? What can he say to fans to keep them engaged? What is he supposed to do when that is the final product that is on the board? You can't
Yeah.
continue to hide that. You can't continue to try to cover that up and be like, oh, well, you said it's not injury. So there's the protection one, and probably the top protection that you have to
Yep.
say, hey, he's not injured. Well, okay, so he's not injured. So what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is what's happening. He's performing well in practice. It's just not reflecting on the field.
Yeah.
That's the coach of a large program. That's all he can do at this
You can only
point.
hide it for so long.
Week 3. It's week
Yeah.
3. It's week
Yeah.
3.
Well, technically, it's week 4. We're going
Week
into
4.
week 4.
Yeah. Week 4
Yeah.
for them.
So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Look, I think at the end of the day, as we talk about Arch Manning's struggles and what's wrong with Arch Manning, I just think he's in a rut, man. Like, here's the thing, and there's some people that have said this. He's been interviewed this week, and he knows he's playing bad, but there's also like a demeanor to that too, right? If
Mhm.
guys are playing bad and they have like this attitude, that's just like, I'm just playing bad. I gotta figure it out, right? Like that's one thing, right?
Yeah.
Arch is like smiling and laughing, and it's like, yeah, dude, I'm playing bad. I just got to get better, right? And I think like the way you say those two things are very, very different. So to me,
Right.
he's cognizant of the situation and the scenario
Mhm.
that he's in, right? And
Yeah.
that's a good sign, right?
That's
To
very
me,
good.
to me, it's like but there's still a mental blockage there.
Yeah.
And he's got to figure out how to break through that wall. We saw a lot of Texas quarterbacks do this. Vince Young went through this, right? What was it, that Oklahoma game that year? His second or third, his third. He was a third-year starter, and he had that bad game against Oklahoma where I think we got shut out. And he finally like went to Greg. He tells the story where he goes to Greg Davis and basically, in a nutshell, was like, "Dude, let me do what I can do." And Greg Davis is like, "All right, I'll let you do what you can do." And then the walls open. He never lost another game.
Yeah.
Right. We talk a lot about Colt McCoy went through the same thing too.
Yeah.
Colt McCoy, do you remember 2006 or 2000, the year after national?
That's the
Colt's
year where he
first
played
year.
against, was that the year that he got knocked out of the game versus Kansas State?
Yeah, it was atrocious.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
he threw 18 interceptions that year. He threw 18 interceptions that year, bro. And then he went on to win like so many games in a row and then got knocked out of the national title, right?
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers, bro, everybody remembers the stinker at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
He didn't lose another road game the entire rest of his career at
That was bad. That was terrible.
right? Including wins at Alabama against Nick Saban, wins
Yeah.
at Michigan against Jim Harbaugh, who went on to win the year after they won the national title, right? Not Jim Harbaugh. I mean, obviously Sharon Moore, but they just won the national title. To me, it feels like those were moments that a breakthrough occurred, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is good for Arch. Mentally, it is, right? I think another thing that's interesting, and somebody asked him this week. Somebody basically said, "Hey, have you ever gone through anything like this?" What do you think his answer was?
I believe it was yes.
No. He's never
Really?
gone through anything like this. Think about it.
Okay. All right.
He's the son of he's the oldest grandson, right? Of the like art of the like the greatest family in football history.
Right.
Right? He's the oldest, like third generation, basically. So he's the first. Marshall's next, right? Marshall's probably gonna be in high school and college in the next 3 years. Hopefully another Texas Longhorn.
Mhm.
And so like his journey through life was so simple, right?
Right.
He goes to New Orleans, he's the guy. He's success, right? He tortures
Right.
everybody in New Orleans. Everybody knows his dad. You know, he always got handed the golden ticket, right?
Right.
And he comes to Texas, and saying you're going to be the guy and you'll wait until that happens is one thing, but then being the guy and going through what he's going through and having challenges, he's never been on the downside of like success, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was very interesting. I never like thought about it that way, where he himself is like, yeah, it's going to take me some time because I've never been through this. I, as a human being, have never been through failure. So I don't know how to get myself out of it because I've never gone through it. Right. And so
Right.
he also is trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something to keep an eye out for. So Texas, beyond that, I think there's a couple problems there. I think the O-line is a problem.
You think the O-line is a problem?
I think the O-line is a massive problem. And I think collectively it's not doing very well. Individually, it's not doing very well.
Okay.
DJ Campbell's a 4-year starter. I don't know what he's doing half the time.
Yeah.
Brandon Baker looks lost half the time. He's blocking air to me sometimes. I don't know what he's doing, and I think like his inability to have that real competition with Andre Kojo this offseason hurt him so bad.
Yeah.
Because he basically got slotted into that role. He didn't have any competition, and I think he needed that competition.
Right.
Whether he would have won the job or not, right? I don't know.
Right.
Interior offensive line, I think they'll figure it out. Those guys have a little bit of experience, but Connor Robertson gets hurt last week, so then guys have to kind of shift a little bit, right?
Right.
I just don't think this offensive line is playing very well. There's a lot of penalties on the offensive line, holding, ball starts, a lot of the same stuff as last year. I'm really concerned about DJ Campbell. Because you look to him to be the guy to kind of lead this offense.
He's supposed to be the anchor. He is supposed to be the anchor. He's
from a leadership perspective, right? Obviously, Trevor Gooseby is quote unquote anchor because he's the left tackle, right? But DJ has the most experience. He's played in 2 semifinal games. He's played in an SEC title game. He's won a Big 12 title. Like, you are the guy. Like, you're the guy that should be bringing this group together, and that's just not happening.
Absolutely.
And that's really concerning to me.
No, I mean, you hit it right on the head. Listen, from an offensive standpoint, a lot of the times on the offense, especially these big, high-powered offenses, the offensive line are usually the guys, right? They're usually the guys that are the bread and butter. They're usually the strongest, the focal point. And right now, they're not necessarily the strongest focal point. What I'd like to see is I'd just like to see Sark just kind of mix things up a little bit. And I talked about this at nauseum last weekend. If they're not running the ball, based on certain looks and giving coaches certain looks, like try something different. And again, I understand that like maybe you're trying to save it for SEC play, but like there comes to a point to where if things are not necessarily working from a standpoint as a football coach and just as a football team in general, sometimes you just got to go back to basics. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just gotta run the ball and maybe there's not as many motions. Maybe there's not as many. Maybe you're not in the shotgun. Maybe you're in pistol. I don't know. I've never been on that level, but there's got to be a mixture of a combination of like, okay, my squad here is not doing what I expect them to do. Let's try to do something else.
Yeah.
Instead of going down with the ship, because going down with the ship, you're not going to be putting up 1,000-yard rushers if you can't seem to move people off the ball. We already have a half-baked running back room, meaning a lot of these guys are nicked up. We have no idea what's going on with CJ Baxter.
He's got a hamstring injury again. We don't know how long. Trey Wisner is still out with the hamstring. DeAndre Moore is back this week, which is good.
That's good.
And so this gives an opportunity for like James Simon.
Gibson.
There's a lot of guys that are really, really big on Bolo, Jarrett Gibson.
Yep.
And Christian Clark, who's coming off of an Achilles injury. right? And so this is really so those guys are going to get a lot of work this week. I will say this: Jim, these guys couldn't run inside zone off of many different looks. Like to me, that's as basic as you can get it in this offense. Is inside zone.
To me, I think a lot of people expect Texas to run inside zone based on his.
It's the simplest
He did
play
it
in
with
the
Quinn.
playbook.
He did it with Quinn. He did it. He's doing it with Arch. You're putting
Yeah.
the guy. You're putting Arch or Quinn, or you're putting your running back, whether it be Quinn or Arch, on the left hand side and running the ball to the left. We know what's coming.
Right.
Mix it up. That's all I'm saying. Put him in give it a different formation. Sark talked so much about prior to the season. You remember this? He talked about so much like, oh, we've got 4 or 5 different formations to run the same play. I don't see it.
But we're still running it out of the same formation every single time. But I think that's the problem, though, right? So there's two things. Number one, they're running inside zone off that shotgun formation, right? We've seen it 500 times a game. But even then, the blocking scheme, like I don't know what the technical term, but they're blocking down, right? It might be a zone blocking scheme, right? They're not getting that. They're not even getting that.
You listen. You've got to move somebody that does not want to be moved, and a lot of the times, from what I've seen, have we seen any super long runs this year?
The longest run for the entire season, how long do you think it is?
30 yards. And it's probably
yards.
18, and it's Arch probably.
Oh, it was CJ Baxter in the first game, I think. I think it was.
Okay. Was that the Ohio State game?
Yeah.
Okay. So you haven't seen a yard. You haven't seen. You haven't really been running very well. The longest run you had was against a stout defense. So you got to do something. And I want to get to this. I want to ask you this question, and then we can move on. Do you think Sark needs to bring in somebody, not necessarily to take over play calling, but do you think he should have some type of assistant? Because I'm starting to believe that even though he's put up massive numbers in the past, this is starting to look stale.
Maybe, but I wouldn't do that this year. That's not a this year problem.
No. I'm not saying he does it this year. It's too late. It's too late to do that now. But like they brought in was it Sonny Dykes that they brought in?
Yeah, Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly.
You talked about for Ryan Day last year.
Yeah,
Chip Kelly.
You bring in a Chip Kelly. You bring in somebody like that. Not necessarily. You don't have to give them control. I'm not saying give them control of your offense, but you need to be able to delegate tasks.
I agree.
From a CEO, because you're no longer the head coach. You are the CEO of this program.
Yep.
You got a lot of things on your plate. You also got a baby. Don't you got a baby on the way?
Sorry to hear. I think she's like 6 months. Maybe at this point, probably almost a year.
You got a newborn.
Yeah.
Delegate some of that stuff, dog. Take some of this stuff off your plate. To me, offensively, he might have too much on his plate.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with a lot of these coaches. Like, they want to try to prove that they can be the guy and win it. You don't have to be the guy. This is your offense. Go hire your people. This is the same thing as saying like a boss hiring somebody and micromanaging, right? I brought this person in because I believe they can do this, but I'm gonna like spy on every little thing that they're doing and ask them why they're doing it or what they're doing.
Right.
You got to hire people and let it go, and I think that might help him personally because it eliminates stress. Right? He's like, oh, I don't have to worry about that. Lane Kiffin's gonna take care of it, right? Like whatever. Right. Not saying Lane Kiffin's going to be your OC, although if things don't work out at Ole Miss, we'll take him.
Take Lane Kiffin in a heartbeat.
And maybe that's what he's waiting for. Maybe he's waiting for like, I'm not going to do it. And I think that's what it is, right? He's not going to hire somebody as an OC to call the plays unless it's somebody that's like he trusts or somebody that's like high. Like it's probably going to take a Lane Kiffin for that to happen.
Right.
Right. And by the way, I don't think Lane Kiffin's going anywhere anytime soon. I think he's
No,
going to be at
not
Ole Miss for a little bit, right?
not with the quarterback that he just got from Westlake that just
Yeah.
tore up a Tascasita.
Yeah,
Like,
that dude looked good.
yeah,
That dude looked
like
really good.
Westlake versus Atascocita was
That was a
great.
great game. Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude looked good.
So,
Maybe you go get Kalen DeBoer. Can't beat him. Help him. I don't think he's going to last in Alabama. That's a guy he could probably respect. That's a guy that can develop quarterbacks. I
do
think it's
something.
going to take that level of person for him to even think about it.
I don't know, man. I just think right now, I just think that he has an opportunity to really add to or to find some type of resolution this year. Like we said, as far as adding a coordinator or some type of big time coordinator, that's a wash.
Yeah.
Or assistant, that's washed. That's no longer there. But
It's too late.
you got to do something. You got to change it up. You got to figure it out. And I'm hoping that they do something. Listen, I'm gonna give it 2 more weeks. I do think Texas can win both of these games. In well, I definitely believe they'll win Saturday, right? I think that's
for sure.
wash. These next 2 to 3 weeks, if I got to see how he performs in Florida. If he's not performing the way that I think that he should be performing in the way that the rest of the world thinks that he should be performing, I think it is time to pull the trigger and see what other quarterbacks can do. I don't like doing that. I don't like you. This is not the time to be bullshit. You have to strike when the iron is hot. The iron for Texas right now is hot. Clemson's pretty much out of it. Unless they win the ACC, they're pretty much out of it.
Which they very well could do.
Notre Dame, they could do, but I think Florida State is going to be a problem.
Yeah, Florida
Hayes
State.
King ran them out. King ran them out the gym. Your quarterback can't kick. Your quarterback, we don't know what happened. He's clearly regressed. I don't know what's happened with Cade Klubnik.
Yeah.
Notre Dame has basically played themselves out of contention because of these 2 back-to-back losses, and they're still being ranked. But I don't see them winning anymore. Well, they'll win because they'll play other teams. But like you said earlier today, I think there will be teams that will have a stronger push.
Notre Dame doesn't play another ranked team except for number 25 USC. Who USC looks really good right now.
USC does look really good. USC does look great. So I don't think, and right now, if you told me that if Notre Dame and USC were to play today, USC to me is washing them.
Yeah, with the Jordan Mailata is playing lights out.
Been absolutely great. So you got a Georgia team, and they're basically based on defense. I mean, Branch has been really the only bright spot on that offense. Gunnar Stockton has not looked great either.
What? Did you watch Gunnar Stockton against Tennessee?
That's Tennessee, bro. I don't put any. Listen, to me, Tennessee is the fakest team in the SEC, bro. I'm so sorry, and I know there's probably people like, oh my god, how could you say? Tennessee is the one team that everybody has hope for. Even I'm like, man, you know what? Tennessee looked like they might be something this week.
Nah, they looked really good for like a quarter and a half,
and that was it, right? So
that game was crazy.
That game was crazy, but outside of that, he struggled against Austin Peay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to forget that. I think you get up for the rivalry game. That is a rivalry game. Tennessee, Georgia is a rivalry game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They play every year.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give it 2 weeks. I'm really, really hoping to see Arch do some. I'm not asking for a 400-yard game. I'm not asking for that. I don't think you
Just
are.
learn to do the easy stuff, man.
I just want you to do the. I just want to see consistency, like you said
Yeah.
last week. Consistency,
Yep.
and I want to see it happen the entire game. I don't need to see 350 yards. I just want you to give me 225 and 2 touchdowns, and I'll shut up.
You know it's really funny? If he just hit the easy throws, he'd hit 300 yards easy.
He hit.
You know what's also really ironic? The stuff that Quinn did really, really well is the stuff that Arch is terrible at.
We've
And it's
now
the
taken it.
reason
We've
why.
taken it for granted. Listen, Arch or Quinn in between the hashes.
Unreal. Unbelievable.
The way he would thread a ball to a tight end is crazy work.
The way he
The
could
way
layer a
he-
ball to the outside the hashes on this.
Oh my god!
Unreal.
Oh,
Unreal.
oh my gosh! Those
Especially when he
passes,
was healthy. Woo.
yeah, especially when he's healthy, he was putting the ball out there on a rope, out
My
there to the sidelines.
You know what's really crazy? That throw to Ryan Wingo outside that ended up being a touchdown. Even that throw looked terrible. Like against like a Georgia or like a halfway decent defense, that's a pick
Yeah,
because you got to throw that on a rope, right? Like
yeah.
he was
He
trying
had
to
to
use
know
touch
to get
there,
it.
and he tried to use touch there, and he needed to use some power, right?
Yeah.
Because and to me, I think he was afraid that he was going to overthrow it or sail it or do something weird with it, right? That to me is a mental block, right? That's a mental thing. Like you've probably made that throw 100 million times.
Yeah,
So it'll be interesting. Now I'd agree with you, man. Like, we'll go into predictions and stuff, but again, my stuff doesn't change from last week because it hadn't gotten better.
it hadn't gotten better.
So there's no reason to change my expectation. My expectation is still 3 things:
right.
simplicity, discipline, consistency. It's
Yeah.
so like that's it. Keep it
Yeah.
simple, do it right, do it often, don't make mistakes.
Yeah,
And whatever results come from that, I don't care. I know you're gonna win the game. I just don't want you to win the game like hobbling. It's like you're up in a race the entire time, but you like jog the entire way.
well, I can't remember who said it. I can't remember if it was Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, or whatever. But I remember watching this podcast, and oh god, I can't remember who it was. But basically, like one of the greats. It was like either Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, or Kobe Bryant that told another basketball player to quit playing with his food.
Yeah.
That is what Texas is doing. We know that Texas, listen, in my opinion, at that game against Ohio State, offensively, Texas was better. They on paper they were better.
Yeah.
And if they were to just be able to complete a couple of passes, they would have been the better offense. And the juggle pass that old boy made in the end zone, although that ball was put in a very awkward spot, it was more it wasn't the throw, it was more of the catch that was more spectacular. You know what I mean? So because he basically caught the ball twice. He caught it, let it go, readjusted and caught it again to score the touchdown. So outside of that, if they do these little things, if they do all the little things, in my opinion, they win the game. Now, is it a blowout? Absolutely not. Is it a blowout? No. Could it have been a 7-8 point game for Texas to win? Yes, absolutely. I 1000% think that if Texas were able to just get the ball in the field goal range and maybe score a touchdown, they have an opportunity to score and put at least an 8-point lead on that game, and win that in a convincing fashion.
Yeah.
In Ohio State. So what going forward, what do you think the game's going to be versus Sam Houston State?
Score wise,
Give me a ballpark.
35-10.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking 30-10, 35-10.
I'm okay with
That's
that.
huh?
I'm okay with that. Like to me, 35-10
I'm
is
okay. I'm not okay
just
with
about
it.
how it
This
looks.
I am not okay with it. This is what I am accustomed to. I want 40 or 50 points to 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what I want. I want those scores to come late in the game. I
Yeah.
don't want their first team offense strolling out there and putting up points on the board because Texas defense has been out there all day. I don't
Yeah.
want that. I don't
I
want that.
I also, you know what? I want to see this game. I want to see us score on the first drive of the game.
Oh
Like I feel
God.
like I've never seen that. I feel like I haven't seen that in like 5 years. Actually, it's actually because we haven't seen that in 5 years. I think
We
we've only
haven't.
seen like
Listen,
twice.
I'll also be honest with you. I don't want to see Arch running the ball. If you're gonna run the ball that much, go play tight end. Like,
Yeah,
do
I mean,
some
you need to get the reps, man. If you're really going to get the reps, then truly
put the
get the
ball
reps
in
and
the
throw the
air.
ball.
If you, I don't. I'm sick and tired of seeing the focal point of the offense in the red zone specifically on the quarterback's legs. That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Listen, is Arch a runner? Can he run? Yes. Should that be his main thing? No, he's not Lenore Sellers, dog. He's not that guy.
yeah.
Put the ball in the air. If you can't put the ball in the air,
I'd much rather you do RPOs in the red zone, man. Just to get, like run guys in motion and throw it to the motion guy.
I'm so tired of seeing quarterback power
Dude,
on a 4 yard line, on a 3 yard line, on a 1 yard.
yeah.
I don't want to see that, dog.
Put that as number two. As this like it's like the number two thing I don't want to see. So number one, I'm tired of sidearm throws. Number two, I don't want to see running in the red zone. No QB options of the red zone. Bad start. Call a real play. Let's get some guys in motion. Let's get Arch to throw the ball in the red zone. I don't
Because
care
at
if
the
it's
end of the day,
injuries.
you know what that looks like? You know what that looks like? It looks like you're settling. I can't get other things to work. I want to hold these plays from X, Y, and Z. So let's just get Arch to run the ball in. Does it get the fans pumped up? Absolutely. But you aren't going to be able to do that against Georgia all day, every day. As much as I don't like as much as I'm off the Florida the bandwagon, you're not going to be able to do that against Florida.
Well, I mean, watching Florida's defense, you might be able to. But I get what you're saying.
Running. The more you do this, the more you put this on tape, gives defenses and coaches more of an opportunity to scheme for it, and honestly put your quarterback in danger. Because
because they can blitz, right? If they blitz the right person the right time,
it's a clear shot.
Blasted. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
That's all you need. It happened. It happened with Quinn.
Yep, happened a lot with Quinn. Yeah.
So that's the last thing is that we need is a quarterback injury.
Yep, that's fair. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but yeah, I as far as predictions, I think Texas wins. I think Texas wins 35-10, 30-10, around that. Other than that, I just want to see a complete game from the offense. The defense have done what they can. I know I'm not putting this on the defense. The defense has been the bright spot of the game or of this season, which I've mentioned it. You've also mentioned it that the defense has been, they're going to be the real leaders. There's a lot of people on that defense coming back, and they look ready to. They look prepared.
Yep,
they look prepared, and so when you have one side, and traditionally this is not as of a Texas team. Usually it's the defense that, maybe have some secondary issues, maybe some coaching schemes that are off. This Texas defense is ready to play and ready to compete and will be even more of a fierce opponent and more of a fierce defense when they're able to play with a lead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. I completely agree with that.
When they get to peel their ears back and go.
Yep.
But you got to give your defense a rest, dog. You cannot have your defense on on that field 60 plays, 80 plays, 100, however many plays. You can't do that and expect him to be able to reel you back in. Now, by the grace of God, these last 2 weeks, 3 weeks really, even including Ohio State, they have been very, very formidable.
Yep.
But how long is that going to last? You got to help that defense out. As
I
an
think
offense, you should want to help your defense out because your
I think
defense is going
I think
to
Quinn even acknowledged it, right? I think he said this. He's like, "Look, it worked this week, but I know it's not going to work against SEC teams, right?" He acknowledges it, so he's definitely aware of it.
Yeah.
Now it's about figuring out when is he going to fix it, right? And I don't think we really like. It's hard to say. Yeah, tomorrow he's gonna fix everything and everything's gonna be great. Like that's not a guarantee, right?
Right.
That's just not how these things work, and he's gonna have to figure it out. And the longer it takes for him to figure out, then the longer it's gonna take for this quite honestly this team to be successful.
Right.
And you know they could fix it this week, go into the bye week feeling really really good, and bygones will be bygones, and we just move on with the season and we'll get what we want out of this team. But right now, that's not a guarantee.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't really know what to expect. But we'll see what happens. That's pretty much all we got today, man. You got anything else?
No, man. I've said my piece. Like I said, I'm going to give it a couple weeks and see how it goes from there. I might be satisfied. I might not be. I'm not going to lie to you right now. I'm interested in other stuff. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you. I am optimistically worried about Texas.
Okay.
There's some optimism there because I do think that they have the pieces to make the runs, and I do think that they're, again, every week by week there are teams that are not necessarily performing, or there are teams that we thought that would be there in the end that are not, that are losing, and they are losing to opponents that we did not think that they would lose to. And so it is giving Texas life. That's why they are where they are now. But you've got to offensively, if you're an offensive player, like I said just a few moments ago, you should want to give your defense an opportunity to pin their ears back and go.
Sure.
And you're not doing it.
I think the offensive struggles have also carried into the defense and their ability or inability to kind of peel back. And I think they're pressing too, right? Because now they're anxious to want to get the ball back to the offense quickly.
Right.
Colin Simmons and Anthony Hill have not played well, right? They are both also pressing because they're so anxious to get this offense another.
They're trying to make up for the offense,
right? And so, and this is why they call it complementary football. If all three phases are working really, really well, then these guys they can just go play because they know, hey, you know what? If we give up a stop, whatever, right? The offense is going to get a score anyway, so we'll be back on the floor. Hey, you know what? We went 3 and out, but we've scored the last 3 drives, and the defense is going to be just fine. Like that's complementary football. Hey, special teams got a great kick, which Ryan Niblett had a great punt return last week.
Ryan Niblett, get him the ball.
Yeah, get that guy the ball in space. Why aren't we throwing him like RPOs or something? Like get
Ryan Niblett.
Get that guy the ball.
Get him involved.
He's been here 3 years. Let him try to show us something. Like give him an opportunity to show us something.
Yeah.
So,
I'll tell you this: if Ryan Niblett doesn't do it this year,
he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised if he goes to a Georgia. I would not be surprised if he goes to Ohio State.
He's going to find somewhere to go.
He will find somewhere else to go, or Oregon, and be a high value player. So Sark needs to get it together. This offense needs to get it together. Put the guys on the field that are going to do what they do. Let these guys go and play.
Yep, for sure. I 100% agree with you there, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Well, let's get out of here. Where can the people find you?
You can find me at Tim Wayne on the Twitterverse. Haven't had much to say because I don't want nobody calling me or calling my job trying to get me fired. So, I haven't had much to say. I'm just being completely honest with you. Haven't had much to say. Got a lot of opinions. Got a lot on my heart. Can't really
Yeah.
say it. So you can find me there. You can find me at Longhorn Fan Battle. I don't know if you saw last week, but I did mention that like I did live tweet during the game from our account and said, and I put my name next to it to
Yeah, I
be
saw that.
specifically clear that I was speaking and not you. That I wanted to see somebody come out there and throw the ball other than Arch at that point in time, especially when he missed that wide open pass to Wingo.
Wingo, yeah.
On,
Oh
on
yeah,
the,
yeah.
it was like a whip route. I can't remember what kind of route. I don't know if it was coming over the middle. I know it was coming over the middle. He missed him, and it's a wide from that point on. It's a wide open touchdown, and Arch put it in the ground. And I said, you know what? I'll let my intrusive thoughts take over, and I tweeted it out there, and it got quite a few likes. No really real crazy responses. So that let me know that there are people out there that are thinking this way, and as if
Yeah.
this continues to happen, people will start to ask questions.
Oh, for sure. And you know what? That's just Texas fans. And that's why I don't put a lot of like thought into it, right?
Yeah,
You can find me at LH Fan Battle as well. I'm the one that causes all the chaos. I'm the one that doesn't really care about who tells anybody anything. Um, and then you can find me at the Uncle Gandhi. Find us both here Thursday nights. Of course, follow us on Substack. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok. I think we're almost at 2,000 followers on TikTok, which is cool.
yep,
Almost 3,000 on the Twitterverse.
man.
Only like 60 more people, and we'll get to 3,000.
Man, shout
Which
out
is super sick.
our Twitter community has been showing out, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a lot of fun. So
The conversations that have been had are absolutely great. And I've
Yeah.
loved every single one of them.
yeah, we'll see what happens this weekend. Again, in case you didn't miss at the beginning of the show, Trey Wisner, CJ Baxter both out. DeAndre Moore will be back. Emmett Mosley, the transfer from Stanford, maybe the missing link, is almost ready to come back. So maybe we'll see him against Florida. Jonah Williams, very close to being back as well. So that'll be interesting. So
Imagine what if Jonah Williams gets some reps at running back?
I just want Jonah Williams to play first,
Right.
really. I don't really care where he gets reps right now. Honestly,
Right.
I want Jonah Williams to be the punt returner to start. I want to ease him back into it.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I want
like
to ease him back into it. Yeah, that's kind of what I want to see from Jonah Williams. I want to ease him back into it. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I saw something crazy, and I was like, "Whoa." Anyway, that's it from us. Texas plays 7 p.m. night game. If you guys are in the Austin area, go to DKR, support the boys. Crowds have been great, 100,000 every week.
Yep.
So continue that up. Hope you guys enjoy the game. My name's Harish. This is my guy Tim Wayne. We out of here. Peace.
Joe Gabriel.